Every day, the first person there before the sun would be Jordan. And he was there because he wasn't good. He would work with a batting instructor and work all day long and be the last person to leave every night also. I asked him what it was like for him in the morning. And Jordan said, I get up before the sun comes up and I make myself some breakfast by myself. He was down there alone. And I get in the car and I'm driving to spring training and there's no one really out on the roads yet. And I look at the seat next to me and I see my dad. And I talk to him. I think to myself, Pops, we're doing this. We're doing this together. And the day would end, and he would say to the batting instructor, can we do a little more? I think I'm getting this. I think I'm learning this. I think I'm getting this. And that's when Sports Illustrated put him on the cover, saying that Michael Jordan is embarrassed baseball. And as I would watch him there every night as the sun was going down and the other ball players had left, and I would see this guy working to get better, Michael Jordan working to get better, I couldn't help thinking that if you ever have children, you ought to pray that they grow up someday to embarrass you like this.
I'm gonna get it.
And you got to understand the reason, right? Why does that guy think like that? Right? How do you arrive at that point? You got to also look at that. You have to look at that. You got to look at the environments and places we live in and how things are set up and how things are structured and how we're always the last on the totem pole, even from our schooling to our roads to, everything that all the obstacles that's placed in front of us. Even our living conditions. You live in a project. Someone lives here, 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 and here. You have to deal with all these different type of personalities. You're in the box. Someone's above you, below you, to the right of you, and to the left of you. And every day you have to manage that circle. And that's just 2 floors. These buildings have 26 floors, and there's a ton of them. Right? These low-income houses, and everything is messed up there. So that's like living dormant. If this is what I have to live for, then I'm going to take a chance to get more. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens to me.
The street schoolers to spend our money foolish. Born with jewelers and watch for intruders. I stepped it up another level. Meditated like a Buddhist.
The street schoolers to spend our money foolish. Born with jewelers and watch for intruders. I stepped it up another level. Meditated like a Buddhist. Recruited lieutenants with ludicrous dreams of getting cream. Let's do this. It gets tedious. So I keep one eye open like CBS. The logo for CBS. The logo for CBS was the one eye. So this is how I'm living like this. Not trusting, because that's what happens. You tend not to trust people because it's a life and death thing every day. Imagine living like that.
Can I live? Can I live? Can I live?
I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm not a textbook fighter, a jab right hand. I fight to win. I do everything to win. My objective is to win. To win. Totally to win. Everybody else says, this is what we do. We do this, we do this. The jabs are right. I win. I fight to win.
So when you say I'm not yet as great, do you really believe that?
Yeah, I know I'm a learning fighter,
But I can talk to 50 fight people, and they'll say, this guy is close to becoming the best heavyweight ever.
Well, they don't know me. They don't know what goes in my head. They don't know. They don't know my insecurities. My insecurity is totally different than any other man's insecurity. I really believe that. I could be wrong, because I'm usually wrong.
Like what are your insecurities?
My insecurities is performance, more than my lifestyle, how I'm living, and what I bring in as far as income. My insecurity is performing well.
In the ring.
Yeah. I totally will lose my mind after bad performance. I totally freak.
So do I.
Totally freak. Let me see. It haunts me. Totally freak.
Because you're embarrassed. You're humiliated. You feel like
and
you let somebody.
People watch me fight because they say, "Wow, you still look great." A win is a win, but I fight for perfection.
Do you achieve it?
Huh? Nah, no one does. But we aim for it.
It's interesting. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Oh, did you think so, Mike?
Wow, yeah.
What?
Just watching myself that way. But I look at myself that way and I say to myself, this guy has a lot of confidence, and I'm not that guy anymore. Wow, this guy's pretty sure of himself.
Well,
Your father's like your hero. It's like a superhero to you. So that's someone that, I was, in love with. That was my world. I wanted to be like him. I wanted to walk like him and talk like him. So for that to be removed, from my house or from my life, that left a huge void in my life, and also made me put up walls because I never wanted to feel that feeling again. I never wanted anyone to get that close to me so I can feel that again. So it left me guarded for, my entire life until we got a chance to meet up again.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, my mom had set up a meeting with us, and I didn't want to do it because I had so many disappointments. Like, he was supposed to come see me before when I was young. I was waiting on the bench. He never showed up. So that type of disappointment I didn't want to experience again. So she set up the meeting, and he didn't show up the first time. And I was like, see, I told you this was going to happen. But my mom is like the most loving, forgiving person, and she kept at it. She set up the meeting again. This time he showed up. I got a chance to really tell him everything that was on my mind, how I felt, how, him leaving made me feel, and, we dealt with it, and from there was able to free myself, really, and, allowed me to express my feelings and let people close to me, and here we are.
Yeah, and here we are. You were saying that your reconciliation with your father really opened the door for you to be able to receive love and to give love differently.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just put it in an elegant way.
Well, well, you could have wrapped it. Okay. You could have wrapped it. So all those years I didn't ask you this in the magazine article, but all those years where you were dealing drugs, did you ever do drugs?
No.
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 Yeah, I didn't think so, because I heard good drug dealers don't do drugs.
Yeah, we got that from Scarface. Records ever. But it wasn't until I happened upon this cipher right in front of my building in Marcy Projects. There were a bunch of kids standing around this one guy. His name was Slate. He's a bit older than me, and he's just taking these words and he's pulling them out the air and he's just throwing them all around, and everyone's fascinated and everyone's hanging on his every word, and I just stood there and he just mesmerized the crowd for 45 minutes. Just sometimes it was it was funny, hilarious, sometimes it was insulting. It was almost like he was playing the dozens, but he was making these words match in a way that I hadn't experienced live before. And from that day, then I knew the power of words, and I started searching for words, and I was just enthralled by his how he captivated that crowd for that long. And I thought, man, I can do that. And it just felt like the first time that our story was being told our way. We listened to all those great records. We listened to The Temptations. We listened to Prince, Michael Jackson. We listened to all those in the house. And it almost felt like at that moment, there would be a closer conversation that was to be had. And from that day on, it was like, I don't know if I ever, and of course, haven't fell out of love, but I don't know if I haven't thought about words in the same way since.
Wow, and that's one of the greatest wordsmiths of our generation. Let's take a listen to his exploration of the hustling lifestyle that has become dominant, that he claims is the truth of hip-hop. Not the only truth, not the only story, but a central one that had been neglected even in the earlier history of hip-hop. Let's listen to Can't Knock the Hustle.
Check. Yo, I'm making short-term goals when the weather froze. Yes, put away the leathers and put ice on the gold. Chilly with enough bail money to free a big Willie. High stakes, I got more at stake than Philly. Shopping sprees, copping 3 Deuce Fever, yeses, fully loaded, yes. Bouncing in the Lex Luger, tire smoke like Buddha.
I promise not to sing that Mary J. Blige hook for y'all. That's Can't Knock the Hustle.
The strange thing about Can't Knock the Hustle, my intention in writing that was I was to, the guys in the street. I was in the street when I thought of that song. And at that time, the hustlers, the street hustlers were making more money than the rappers. And I always had this love for rap. But it was almost like I was embarrassed to really say how much